Omar can come with us, right?
Yes, I go where you go.
Fine, you're in.
Yes. In what?
You're in deep shit.
What is up, guys? Today we're talking about Family Plan 2. So once again, Mark Wahlberg is here, Michelle Monaghan is here, and this time we've got Kit Harington in the mix. And before I even really get into everything, I need to say this briefly. Kit Harington's got some curse on him, boy, I promise you. After he left Game of Thrones, outside of like maybe one or two projects that have been decent to good, I don't think I've personally watched him anything that's really good. And so the second he popped up in this movie, because I didn't even know he was in this movie, I got nervous. And I was right to have those nervous inquiries, because I really love the Family Plan 1. I actually thought it was pretty good. Apple usually doesn't miss as far as the TV show department goes. All streaming movies need work. It doesn't matter what thing it's on. But I think I gave the first one like a 7.8, or not 7.8, but 7.5 or an 8. And so I really loved it. And with this one being a Christmas theme, sequel, I was like, let's see what you got. So, plot breakdown. If you missed the first movie, Mark Wahlberg's character used to be a, shadowy, like, spy, hitman type guy, whatever, working under his father, who ran this big organized crime situation, kind of like Nobody or John Wick, like a lot of these things that you see. He retired, whatever, he's a family man. So the beginning of this one, his father's dead in prison, and he heads to London with his family, because his daughter's in school over there. And he does one job over there, and turns out Kit Harington's over it, and turns out he's actually his brother. It's a surprise. Did you see that coming? I'm so tired of this cliche plot thing that we keep doing. It's a twist that nobody asked for. And I do just want to say this, I really hate the trope. Fast and Furious did it. Tons of other movies do it. They're like, hey, I had a brother that I didn't mention. Because in this movie, it's not like, oh, it's a secret twist. Like, he verbally states that he knew he had a brother. He just, okay. And so Mark Wahlberg, like I said, is not surprised. And then there are all these little things. Like, Mark talks about when he grew up, and the wife's confused. And she's like, oh, you grew up in Paris? And he's like, didn't I tell you everything? It's like, this is like years in between a sequel. This takes place years later. How do we not learn about any of this information? So much of this writing is just very messy. But there are some things that do work about this movie that I really didn't enjoy that much. Now, that is because I do think the movie is kind of enjoyable on its own, but it's just nowhere near as good as the first one. There's many moments I actually did chuckle at, because these are supposed to be a comedy first and foremost. The family dynamic's still really sweet. Michelle Monaghan's really good. Mark Wahlberg and her have some really good chemistry. And I feel like they kind of hold the movie together, especially in some of these earlier sequences. And Michelle Monaghan actually has the best scene in the whole movie. I feel like there's a sword fight she has with this one woman. She doesn't hold the sword, but she's dodging her. And I really thought that looked really cool. Because that gets into my next complaint, is that there's no really cool action sequences unless you're looking at that one. And so they don't really improve on that either. Any of that moment-to-moment action. It's just kind of like that PG-13, like, oh my god, he's throwing this guy. Oh, he's going to punch him fake, and it's whatever. I think that on top of the action being trash, because it's like, really and truly, I don't mean trash. It's just kind of like that Taken style, like Taken 2 in particular, like 50,000 cuts. Actually, was that Taken 3? There's too many of those. Kit Harington's not really believable at all as this character. I just don't buy him in this role at all. Every time he's on screen, he's just like that cliche. He's like, I want to kill you, brother. And I'm like, give a fuck. And so I think the cliche overload is really insane, because that lost brother twist is just, it's overdone. We're still doing this. It's 2025. There's no big emotional moments, especially out of something like that. I feel like you could have had. There's no memorable set pieces. Remember the baby in the grocery store fight from the first movie? Nothing like that. Nothing really stands out. Nothing really sticks. And this is not to also say that the first movie is just a masterpiece. I want to clarify that. But it's enjoyable. It's decent, right? And so here's the thing. I don't think this movie's terrible. It's not unwatchable. It's just not really going to do anything for you. It's fine. You put on some Christmas lights, you got your little hot chocolate, you'll have an okay time. This is technically a Christmas movie. But don't go out of your way for this. Don't resubscribe to Apple TV just to watch this. Resubscribe to go watch those banger shows that you should be watching anyways. And so with that, I'm going to cut this review a little bit short, because I don't really have anything else to say about this film. And so with that, I'm going to give this a 5.5 out of 10. I think that it's watchable, it's fine, but it's nowhere near like the first. Like, subscribe for more, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.
Hello, Sean. Are you enjoying your family vacation?
What's happening here?
You don't break.